कूजन्तं राम रामेति मधुरं मधुराक्षरम् आरुह्य कविताशाखां वन्दे वाल्मीकि कोकिलम्। रामाय रामभद्राय रामचन्द्राय वेधसे रघुनाथाय नाथाय सीताया पतये नमः। जयत्याश्रितसन्त्रास ध्वान्तविध्वंसनोदयः प्रभावान् सीतया देव्या परमव्योमभास्करः परमव्योमभास्करः।
श्रीमते निगमान्त महादेशिकाय नमः। In the Yuddha Kandam, we have been experiencing the circumstances that led to Maharishi Agastya himself walking the setu constructed by Bhagavan Sri Rama. Krite Kridajagadvide Kripanajantu Chintamane Rama Sahacharam Tada Raghu Durinya Yantyaatvaya Vyabhajata Saripati Sakrita Vikshana Takshanat Prakrishta Bahupadaka Prashava Hetuna Setuna. So he constructed the setu upon which Agastya walked, because Agastya reached Lanka Pradesham when there was a fierce battle, Yuddham, that was happening between Vanara Sainyam headed by Nala, Nila, Jambavar, Hanuman, Sugriva, Angada, under the steward guidance and leadership of Rama and Lakshmana. And on the other side was an equally formidable army, a very, very strong army of the Rakshasas in their home court. And that was led by none other than Dashanana Ravana. While this Yuddha was happening on one day, Ravana got so perspired, so tired, that his Sarathi had to quietly take him away from the battlefield. To a visible tired Rama, Agastya Maharishi comes and gives Upadesham. So Ravana has gone away, Rama is tired, Agastya Rishi comes and gives Upadesham. Who is Agastya? We have seen. Has Rama met up with Agastya before? Yes. Where was Agastya? We have seen. That said, we have to understand, what did Agastya preach Rama? What did Agastya ask Rama to recite? That is where Sri Aditya Hrudayam, the famed Stotram composition, begins. Tato yuddha parishrantam samare chindaya sthitam Ravanam chadrato drishtva yuddhaya samupasthitam. This is the first shlokam, where here it is said, Lokanugrahaya. See, the beauty is, Tilaka, the commentator, Rama Varma of the Tilaka Tika says, like Ravana, even Rama needed some boasting, needed some energy. So using this as the reason, Agastya Maharishi gave the beautiful composition for the welfare of the world. Using this as the vyajam, he gave for the Lokanugraham, says the commentator. Tado yuddha parishratam samare chintaya sthitam. Post that battle, this was very fierce. Samare chintaya sthitam was equally worried. Ravanam cha agrato drishva yuddhaya samupasthitam. He has been seeing Ravana standing in front of him. So how long will this continue? They were clueless. Yuddhaya samupasthitam. But they have finally come, assembled to fight the war. Next shlokam. Devataischa samagamya drashtumabhyagatoranam upagamya prabhidranam agastyo bhagavan rishihi. Devataischa samagamya. The Devatas had assembled there to witness the Yuddham. Drashtu abhyagatoranam, to see the Yuddham happening between two Ras, Rama and Ravana. Upagamya apravidram. Rama did repeat, Agastyo Bhagavan Rishi. what the great Maharishi Agastya said. So the commentator states, Bhagavat Brahmanugrahaika Sadhyatvatta Anugraha Siddhaye Vidyamandala Rishi Agastyo Stotrastyagastya Rishi Anutukchandaha Aditya Hrudaya Bhoto Bhagavan Brahma Devata Nistasisha Vignataya Brahma Vidya Siddhau Sarvatra Jaya Siddhau Cha Viniyogaha Asya Shadangau Pranavena Rashvimate Namaha Ityanena Va Gayatriya Shadangam Ityanena. So the commentator states, using this as a reason, Agastya Maharishi gives the greatness of Surya to Rama. Then the commentator says, from now on, whatever is being recited, use that as a nama vali. It is like a parama japam. It is like a great archana that you have to do to Surya Devata. That is where the next verse comes. Rama Rama Mahabhaho Shrunohyam Sanatanam Yena Sarvan Arin Vatsa Samare Vijayishyasi. Like the Rajavidya, Rajagudhya Yogam which is spoken in Bhagavad Gita, this portion in the Yuddha Kandam of Valmiki Ramayana is equally a secret rahasyam. So he says, Rama Rama Mahabhaho Shruno Guhyam Sanatanam. It is a big secret, listen to it. Yena Sarvan Arin Vatsa Samare Vijayishyasi Sanatanam Veda Nityam Guhyam Rahasyam Shruno. So listen to the essence of Sanatana Dharma, which has been passed eternally, generation after generation. Rama, listen to what I say, Agastya Maharishi says. But the words used, you have to be careful. He says, Sarvan Arin Vatsa, Yena Sarvan Arin Vatsa, Samare Vidayishyasi. To win over all the enemies in the Yuddham, you have to say this. But there is a point here. See, most of the people, strong Rakshasas, who were found on the side of Ravana, were dead. Then who is living? Only Ravana is living. But the word used is Sarvan Arin. All your enemies you will be able to win. There is only one enemy. Why should we describe all? There are two interpretations. One, he doesn't talk about the external enemy. He talks about somebody internal. One. Second thing, Ravana, one person himself is equivalent to so many enemies. So many of them are in one person. So Sarvan Arin is the word used. Next shloka. Aditya Hrudayam Punyam Sarva Shatru Vinashanam Jayavaham Jape Nityam Akshayam Paramam Shivam. So this is a shloka which says, this is the name of the composition. Aditya Hrudayam Punyam. This Aditya Hrudayam composition will bestow Punyam on the person who is reciting. Sarva Shatru Vinashanam. Again, previous shloka, Agastya said, Sarvan Arin Vatsa. All your enemies shall die, Rama. Here he says, Sarva Shatru Vinashanam. All your enemies will die. All Sarvan Arin, Sarvan Shatru. Who are these Shatrus? That is when the commentator says, Sarva Shatru Vinashanam, Sarvesham Bhakyabhyantaranam Shatrunam Vinashanam, Ata Yeva Jayavaham Vijaya Prapatam. He is not talking about the external enemies it seems. He is talking about the internal enemies that each of us is battling, fighting. Who are they? Kama, Krodha, Lobha, Moha, Matamatsarya. So, Matamatsarya, these are the 6 enemies that we are fighting. These are the enemies whom we will be able to win if we recite Aditya Hrudayam. Sarva Shatru Vinashanam Sarvesham Bhakyabhyantaranam Shatrunam Vinashanam Atayeva Jayavaham. Then he says Aditya Hrudayam Punyam Sarva Shatru Vinashanam Jayavaham. It will ensure victory. So those of you who are listening to this sincerely and religiously, I am sure Agastya Vachanam will always be Satyam. So he says Jayavaham. Whatever you want legitimately for the benefit of your family, your society, your country and the world will surely happen. Jayavaham Japen Nityam. But to Japen Nityam, to the one who does Japam every day. Japam Japyata iti Japam Stotram. The one who does this Stotram, recite this Stotram every day. Jayavaham, there will be victory. Nityam. Akshayam. So there will always be prosperity. No interruption in the prosperity. Uninterrupted prosperity. Akshayam Paramam Shivam. Shivam is Mangalakaram, auspiciousness. Paramam Shivam. The best of auspicious things will happen to the person who listens to this. Akshayam, Akshaya Phalakam, Paramam Shivam, Paramapavanam. So, this will ensure success, prosperity to anyone who recites. Next slokam. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam, Sarva Papa Pranashanam, Chinta Shoka Prashamanam, Ayurvarthanam Uttamam, Sarva Mangala Mangalyam. Whatever is giving you auspiciousness, Mangalatvam. For example, Haridra, turmeric, it is very, very auspicious. Kumkumam, very auspicious. Saffron, very auspicious. Gold, silver, very auspicious. Fire, because without fire, how will you cook? Without fire, how will our body get burned? So fire is extremely important. So these are all auspicious as well. That is why if you see any samskara done in Sanatana Dharma, you will surely use turmeric and kumkumam. You will use kesar in this way. You will use fire to do harati to the Lord. You will use fire to create homams or havans. So all this is auspicious. Sarva Mangala Mangalyam. It seems he is the auspicious one to the auspicious ones. So if we think turmeric is auspicious, turmeric thinks Surya is auspicious. If we think kesar, saffron is auspicious, saffron thinks Surya is auspicious. If we have been thinking fire is auspicious, fire thinks Surya is auspicious. Like for Krishna we say Pavitranam Pavitramyo Mangalanam Mangalam. Here it is said Sarva Mangala Mangalyam, Sarva Papa Pranashanam. All the sins will get destroyed. Remember the previous two shlokas? Sarvan Arir Vatsa. All the enemies will get destroyed. Sarva Shatru Vinashanam. Enemies inner and outer will get destroyed. Here it is said Sarva Papa Pranashanam. All the papas will get destroyed. How, sir? Will he take some AK-47 and shoot at us? No. Nadeva Dandamadaya Rakshanti Pashupalavat Yamhi Rakshitu Ichanti Buddhya Sanyojayanditam is a Prachina Subhashitam. Nadevaha Dandamadaya Rakshanti. See, like how a person who grazes the cattle, if it goes astray, will use a stick and beat it. Devata, Paramatma, Bhagavan Sriman Narayana will not use a stick and hit us. He says, Nadevaha Dandamadaya Rakshanti Pashupalavat Yamhi Rakshitum Ichanti Buddhya Sanyojayantitam. He always blesses his devotee who goes astray, not by hitting or killing. He will give one weapon called as Jnana, knowledge, and he will correct the Sishya using that knowledge and direct him to the right path. So it says, Sarva Mangala Mangalyam, Sarva Papa Pranashanam, Chinta Shoga Prashamanam, the one who removes our worries, sadness, Ayurvarthanam Uttamam. He is going to increase the very good health quotient of our body. That is why we often say, right, doctors say, have you been walking in the early sun? Have you been walking in the setting sun? You need sun's rays. You need to get proper vitamin D. Else take these supplements. So vitamin D, anything that sun gives is very important. So he says, Ayurvardhanam Uttamam. So this is called as the Purva Pidika, Purvanga, the introduction to Aditya Hrudayam. Tato Yuddha Parishratham verse, Devataischa Samadamya, Rama Rama Mahabaho, Aditya Hrudayam Punyam, Sarvamangala Mangalyam. These are the verses that will form the Purvanga, the introductory part of Aditya Hrudayam. But what are the names, sir? You were telling that there are many namas, names for Surya Narayana in Aditya Hrudayam. What are they? From the next episode.
Dear Astika reader, I am happy to be authoring a two-part book on the Ramayana in English. The first part is slated for release in the year 2024. The book aims to recreate and retell the Ramayana of Valmiki, conforming to the ancient commentaries and other allied literature. To receive notifications of the book release, kindly register with www.deshikadaya.org/books. Namaskaram.